They're estimating now, I think it's that $400 billion will be repatriated under the one-time new taxes that will bring that money back. That number seems low to me. I thought it was going to be in the $1 trillion range. Is it low?
We have no idea. You cannot predict human behavior. You can model it any way you wish, but it depends on the assumptions you build into it. It's certainly not going to be small, and whatever it does will bring in more capital that create more jobs and more investment in this country.
Okay, let's shift to a different topic. The leftists and critics of President Trump are up in arms over pro-Trump year-end bonuses that some companies are handing out due to the corporate tax cuts. For instance, AT&T announced a $1,000 bonus for its 200,000 workers. They'll each get that bonus. So did Sinclair Broadcasting. Sinclair? Haven't heard from Fox yet. The nation's largest TV broadcaster. I'm going to get in trouble for that. For 9,000 employees. And even Comcast. Are you listening up there on the 30th floor? Comcast, MSNBC's parent. I'm really going to get in trouble. Parent company is doing one of these bonuses. Wells Fargo, Fifth Third Bancorp. They're boosting the minimum wage to $15 an hour. A major goal. That was a Democratic goal, to boost the minimum wage. So you've got Democrats, former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, strategist Jesse Ferguson, calling this an attempt to, quote, curry favor by playing to the ego of the president. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi claiming the AT&T bonus had already been negotiated as part of a new union contract and was an attempt to pin a rose on this tax bill, only to learn that it was an extra $1,000 bonus on top of the early one. Can I bring John back in on all of this real quick? MSNBC's Joy Reid, who will soon pocket an extra $1,000, is dismissing it as a PR stunt. She said this is corporate America trying to convince you that their naked greed is charity, that their gluttony is kindness, and that they didn't demand this $1.5 trillion wealth transfer that you, sick children, and seniors are footing the bill for. So, John, now that I'm in trouble with my management, Joy Reid's probably in bigger trouble with Comcast, but doesn't Joy Reid, working for a corporation that's going to give out bonuses, I mean, is she missing something? Is MSNBC, is Comcast guilty of naked greed and gluttony, or is this something else that she's missing?
I mean, looking a gift horse in the mouth? Come on. If a company wants to give bonuses to its workers, we should celebrate that. It doesn't have anything to do with politics. It has to do with corporate goodwill. And for Joy Reid to say that, I mean, look, she can reject the bonus. I mean, have her hold it up on the air and say, I'm tearing up the check. I doubt that she's going to do that.
I can't believe Comcast would one-up certain other broadcast entities and cable outlets, but we won't go there. Editor-at-large of the Weekly Standard, Bill Kristol, criticized the tax bill, saying, don't the $1,000 bonuses suggest the big corporations didn't really need the tax cut for capital investment? If they're so flush with cash, perhaps they didn't need a tax cut at all. And if we just want to borrow from the future to give out money today, why the corporate middleman? I mean, how would you respond to that, John?
Bill is not acting like the free market advocate he says he is. Corporations can decide what to do with their own money, and if they want to give it to employees for goodwill and to encourage productivity, that's fine. And if they want to invest it later, that's fine. There's plenty more in this tax cut to go around. So I think Bill, who, by the way, predicted that none of these tax cuts would ever happen, that it wouldn't even get out of committee, I mean, let's face it, his predictive ability is sub-zero at this cold weather point.
What about Fox News host Laura Ingraham, who replying to all of this? Who owns large public companies? Bill, thousands of Americans who have stock in their 401ks and portfolios. That's who. Doesn't a free market economy dictate how a corporation uses its cash? And should companies, by the way, spend their cash just because they have it, or should they hold on to it? And then I want to ask you a question about Wells Fargo.
Well, look, companies at each point in their cycle make their own decisions about when to invest. I do know personally some companies that are going to look at the new expensing provisions and the new provisions for investment here and say, you know, we're going to buy in the new year, we're going to buy new equipment. Of course, that creates jobs too because somebody has to build the equipment.
And then lastly, Wells Fargo announcing they're going to raise their minimum wage to $15 an hour. I mean, they've got a lot of making up to do for essentially stealing from their own customers and having to fire whole layers of management that were aware of the stealing they were doing. Do they right their PR ship, which seems to have hit an iceberg and is going down faster than the Titanic?
I'm a former customer of Wells Fargo. It's going to take a lot more than that to get me back. I think that what Wells Fargo is doing is making the best of a bad situation. And, you know, it's harder to attract talent when you have the kind of PR disaster they had. So raising it to $15 an hour may be a necessity.
All right. So President Trump is challenging Democrats to work with him on infrastructure next year. That's after signing the tax and spending bills. While White House Legislative Affairs Director Mark Short is saying Democrats need to play ball this time. Listen to what he said.
Both Democrats and Republicans say their infrastructure is crumbling and we need to fix it. But the big question remains, will Democrats put politics aside and actually work with us?
John, first, is this a smart move for the president to get Democrats to work with him on infrastructure? And having covered the tax bill, I got to tell you, Democrats were shut out. Not during the quick, you could call them hearings if you want, but they were shut out from the bill that was written. Now to say you better play ball with us, would they after getting shut out?
Well, it depends what you think shutout is. The Democrats made it very clear that they did not like this tax bill.
Right.
They were putting pressure on all of their members to vote against it. They were threatening retaliation if they voted against it. So now we move on to a new subject, infrastructure. The Democrats want a lot of government investment in infrastructure. What Trump wants to talk about first is public-private partnerships, loosening government regulations to try to encourage the building of more infrastructure. If the Democrats want to play ball, if they want to have some say in this, they'll probably have to throw a few votes their way. You know, we learned from before that if you simply have legislation passed with one party, it's probably not a good thing for the democracy. So I hope for the health of the democracy, the Democrats say, finally, President Trump is willing to talk about spending more money. We should at least have some say in that.
John, I think we all agree that the one thing we can agree upon, whether a Democrat, a Republican, a conservative, or a liberal, leftist, whatever, what's best for the country should be the starting point for all of these discussions. Kind of like if you're Sinclair Broadcasting or MSNBC and you give a $1,000 bonus, and you're a big, giant cable company and you give bonuses to your hardworking employees. Did we mention Comcast gave a $1,000 bonus, John, to their employees? John Fund, I'm digging my hole very deep here.
I hope you get your bonus.
I'm actually taken care of very well, but there are a lot of hardworking people around here I think would appreciate it. John, thank you very much.
Thank you.